most terrifying holes in all of golf, the 17th Island Green. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Novelo for EA Sports. We'll be calling all the action for today's event. And for fans, Frank, it's one of the most exciting venues in the sport.
With that finish, 16, 17, and 18, you never really know what you're going to put on your scorecard. The fans know that, and the players.
Starting the round here at the TPC Sawgrass, the first hole, 423-yard par 4. And Frank, it's actually a mirror image of the 10th hole. So what's the strategy as players get started?
Ideally, you want to keep it down the left, but that bunker all the way in the distance does come into play for the longer hitters. For a lot of players, just simply a 3-wood down there, you're only going to have a short iron in. And this green is sort of an irregular shaped green, and it sort of slopes left to right. So ideally, if you can, you keep your tee shot down the right side of this fairway.
This one's looking good. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
One under early in the round.
How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot.
And that's going to stay on the fairway with the second hole.
Second shot. That's an absolute beauty.
Third shot coming up at this par 5. Still a good chance to make birdie.
Yeah, just make sure you have the right number and the right club.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Stays at 1 under with that par. Setting up for the third hole here at TPC Sawgrass, relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Second shot coming out of the rough here. And he's made the green. Just a couple of feet. That's good work. That's a good par right there. Frank, the bunker on the right, I wouldn't call that a pot bunker. That is some kind of a hazard, isn't it?
Yeah, meanders all the way down the right side, but really it's the lesser of two evils. I'd rather be in that bunker on the right than the hill on the left. There's something about a well-hit shot.
And safely on the fairway.
Once again, a good lie. That makes such a difference. Takes so many variables out of play.
Second shot. Good look at the green.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Has to like that one. Another birdie to get to 2 under par. Frank, the golf course toughens up right here at the long par 4 fifth.
Yeah, when you play it off the back tee, 470 yards, it's nearly 320 yards to that last bunker down the left side. That really has to be in the back of your mind. The ideal tee shot, little left to right.
You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under.
Frank, what are the players facing here at the 6th 393-yard par 4?
Ideally, just want to hit that ball about 250 yards. It's going to leave you a shot of sort of 140 yards in. Then the green looks quite big because you're far enough back that those palm trees don't become a problem. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
That was a solid strike and a good result.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Has it, and he's 2 under par. 7th hole here at Sawgrass. Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left, and it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration.
These putts keep the round together. And that's a bogey. TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Okay, here comes the third shot. It's about 120 yards. That's what's left. Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up, so this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
That will be a 3 over on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 ninth hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true three-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
That's in the fairway. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop. Just stand still for a second. Almost just flush it out, because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there.
Makes it and moves to 1 over. Frank getting set now for one of the more exciting back nines in all of golf right here at TPC Sawgrass.
And it starts at 10. It looks like a dogleg to the left, really, but you've got to play it as a straightaway tee shot. The run out just over 310 yards.
Headed for the bunker. And once again, off the tee and in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
But you hate to miss from that distance.